What's up? I want to talk about this issue as a man that no one cares about, why that is, and what causes it. Before this video, I recorded this, but I wasn't recording sound, so I was talking to myself. So I'm gonna do this in one take. Hopefully, I'll cover everything I want to cover, and let's go. So, if you're a man that no one cares about, it mostly isn't your fault, because this system was built so that you would fail. Not only men, but also women. Look, it starts in the household. That's where people would draw their strength from, right? Their family, their close ones. So that was abolished through culture and all these stuff like social media. Now you don't have healthy families almost anywhere. And that's crucial because the relationship that a man would have with women is the same or flourishes from or gets built from the relationship that he has with his mother, and also a daughter's relationship with men in the future is translated from her relationship with her father. So the system was subliminally built for people to fail. As I said, through culture, media, social media, traditional media, society also, that is influenced by culture, which is influenced by the system that also manages how school is. Now, the truth is that the world doesn't care about you as a man if you don't have anything to offer in terms of value. The world just doesn't care about you, as women do. The women and the world only care about you if you have value to offer. If you don't, you're practically invisible to them. And then it's so hard to be, to try to be a part of society, but it rejects you. It only wants your money, or if that, and it doesn't even give you a chance. And that's how this world or the cities, the system is built, so that it doesn't give chances to just anyone. It tries to pretend that it does, but it really doesn't. It just pretends so that people would shut up. And like, our duty, which no one speaks about, is to build our value. For women, it's to preserve their value. But none of us can make it alone, believe it or not. Well, maybe, I don't know. But it's super, super hard, like 0.01% possible to make it alone. But mostly, we need other people. We aren't meant to live by ourselves, do everything by ourselves. We're supposed to live with each other, for each other. But as I said, the system, drove away your guiders. I don't know, like your parents. They are too busy working their 9 to 5. So who raises you? School? Social media? traditional media, and society. Yo. Right? And the school teaches you everything about nothing. Basically waste your best potent years to learn something, because children learn in depth better than any age, as their mind works faster, better. You process information so much better and deeper. That's the important thing, deep. To understand something deeply, that's how you get better at something. So yeah, that's why children learn so well, languages, for example. But school teaches you garbage that you don't even use once you graduate. Before, parents would teach their children themselves. They would homeschool, right? Taking care of crops, animals, I don't know, building something, woodwork, all these things, practical things that are useful. And the talents would stay in the family, right? The tricks, the skill. Nowadays, we have useless people that are dependent on the system. Talentless slaves, I call them. And that's how these, people in charge of the system want us to be. The system gives chances, but not to anyone. Only a chosen few. Quote unquote chosen. So now people, when you look at people have no skills. People are dependent for the system to provide them food, take care of order, policing, everything, housing, whatever. So people don't know anything, don't know how to do anything anymore. That's how you become a slave, basically. Now what? You gotta compromise yourself. You gotta work a job that you hate, that is purposeless, meaningless. It has no end. Right? Once you get sick, they just replace you. And the cycle goes on. That's why you are depressed. Because you don't see purpose, you don't see meaning in this. You know why you don't see it? Because there is none. It's soul-wrenching. Why live if there's no purpose? Right? That doesn't make sense. And you know what I figured out? That a purpose of a man is to live for another people, to serve. Life of a man is a life of servitude. To give himself to those who he cares about, and those that care about him, appreciate him for what he does. Ultimately, it's a woman with which he creates a family. But people's convictions are so compromised with unhealthy beliefs, convictions, that it's hard to be normal nowadays. A person with common sense, which isn't common anymore, You know how I said that people are dependent on the system? They are so dependent that they don't even make their own decisions. Let the system make decisions for them. And that's rough, right? So it's a rough spot where it's not your fault that you don't have skills. I bet most of the men would gladly learn a skill when they were kids, but there were no opportunities to learn something. Just to do nothing, just to give in to dopamine or enjoyment or whatever, loaf around, be clueless, be confused, be lost, or explore the world, but you can still find time to learn a useful skill. But nobody did. Or nobody was there. There was nobody to guide you. So now it's rough. When you're invisible to the system, now what, right? I believe it is possible, and things change. There are phases in this world. So this is a hard phase where we will have to endure the circumstances that we've found ourselves in, and then once it's time to strike, you'll have a choice to fight for your honor or to stay crying as a victim. That determines who you are. That's where your character is revealed. But yeah, if you are still young, find yourself a skill in which you would excel, that you would enjoy. Yeah. And then let that be your horse that you can ride.